Throughout the years, Mario has fought countless enemies and won countless victories, but what year was Mario the strongest? In this video, we'll go through the progression of Mario's strength and the difficulty of the enemies he faces. When Mario first saved the princess, he was just starting out. The enemies weren't that strong and he was still a newbie. Mario took care of the Goombas and Koopas with ease, but I don't think this was because he was strong, I just think that they were weak. Mario faces other enemies too, like the Hammer Bros and Lakitu, but I'm only going to focus on the ones we see most of the time. Bowser also wasn't too strong either. All he did was breathe some fireballs and throw some hammers. He was the strongest enemy Mario did face that year, but was nowhere near his max potential. For this year, I would give Mario a 2 out of 10. After this, Mario takes a break until he decides to save the people from Subcon from the evil frog Wart. He faces some new enemies such as Ninja, Fidget, Cobra, and many more, but once again, these enemies are frontline enemies and really don't put up much of a fight for Mario. However, one enemy does give him some trouble besides the final boss Wart, and that is Mauser. Mauser really tests Mario's endurance, agility, and perception as he throws an endless supply of bombs at Mario. Mario must pick up the bombs and toss them back to defeat him, which he may not have been able to do in the past. The final boss Wart is also a step up from Bowser. Wart is able to endlessly spit bubbles at Mario. To defeat him, Mario must precisely throw plants at him while Wart moves left to right while he's spitting bubbles at him. This is very impressive indeed, but nowhere near Mario's peak. 3 out of 10. After this, we see Mario take on another adventure that same year, saving countless kingdoms from Bowser and the Koopalings. Mario has to step up his game, and he does, facing some of these enemies, which are getting stronger too. We still have the Goombas and the Koopas, but we also have a lot more new and stronger enemies. We have the Boomerang Brother that yeets his boomerang at us, which can be tricky to dodge and get the timing right. We also have the Sledge Brother and the Fire Brother. Honestly, if Mario didn't have the experience from his last adventure, he may not have been able to save the day this time. Bowser's also getting stronger too, being able to jump up and use his weight to try to stomp Mario. Luckily, Mario is very quick and manages to dodge these attacks with finesse. He is getting stronger, but nowhere near close to being at his peak. I'm giving Mario a 3.7 out of 10. There really isn't any big changes in Mario in the next adventures, so we're going to skip ahead to where he has some of the biggest character development, and that's in 1996. We see a lot of enemies like the Boos, King Bob-omb, Big Bully, the Womp King, and so much more. Mario really can't let all these bad guys get in his head or he is done for. He has a lot of people who are after him in this adventure, and honestly, that pressure could get to anyone, so it really shows how well Mario is developing his mental strength as well. He has great speed dodging the enemies and great spatial awareness being in 3D now and having to worry about all the angles. Can we also talk about his lung capacity? He can stay under the water for so long and still focus on his mission. Big giant eel in the water? No big deal. He'll wait him out, go into his house, and get the job done. Mario also has to show his brute strength when he absolutely bodies Bowser off the star platform. We really start to see Mario's strength now. With this, I'm going to have to give Mario a 5.5 out of 10. After this, the next time we see Mario, he is 4.5 out of 10. After being trapped in a painting, Mario needed a true vacation and he decided to fly to Delfino Island. However, this doesn't go according to plan, and once again, Mario has to show up. Having FLUDD may make things easier for Mario, but let's not have this undermine him. Being able to pick up a completely foreign tool and being able to use it to the best of his abilities is absolutely mind-boggling. This really shows us Mario's intuition and cleverness in how he uses a water gun to help clean and save the island and clear up his name. It would be really hard for me to save the day when the whole village doesn't like me, but this doesn't bother Mario. Let's not forget that he still had to fight some pretty intense enemies such as PD Piranha, the Electro Koopas, whatever this thing is, Big Boo, and Monty Mole. We'll bump Mario up to a 5.5 out of 10 again, but once again, this is mainly because of his ability to learn on the fly and optimize ways of figuring out how to use FLUDD, not just his brute strength. His next adventure happens in space. Mario finds himself in space after Bowser once again invades the Mushroom Kingdom. Kamek launches Mario into space, but thankfully Mario lands on the planet and meets Rosalina, giving him a +1 just for his luck. Bigger bosses also mean a stronger Mario. Here we see King Fin, King Kalante, Dino Piranha, Squizzard, and many more. Even with Gravity on his side, we can see how much stronger Mario is getting. Fighting Bowser this time is definitely a step up too. Bowser is using his momentum to curl up into a big ball and try to roll over Mario. It's impressive how Mario could hit him even though he has spikes on his shell. This is even harder with the lava inside the mini plants that they are on. 6.8 out of 10. After this, 5 out of 5. And then we see Mario back at it again in 2017 when he goes through kingdom to kingdom trying to find Peach and save the day. Actually, I'm going to give Mario a -1 point with his lack of home security. Here, Mario encounters a plethora of enemies. He does have assistance from Cappy however, but in this instance I feel like Mario does most of the work. He is able to precisely throw Cappy in the direction that he wants under huge amounts of pressure. Mario is always a good jumper too, but with Cappy, his mobility is insane. I might even say he has more mobility than he did with Flood. Mario faces some pretty tough bosses too. He faces the Koopalings, Mecha Wiggler, an actual dragon, this guy, and a big old chicken. Bowser is also pretty tanky too. Bowser is not only the strongest he's been when we've seen him, but he's also been the most dapper, so that is something to really consider. However, Mario mainly uses his mind-altering cat to defeat Bowser in the end, so we aren't going to give him too much credit for this. At this point, nothing phases Mario and his mental game is pretty much locked in now. Given all of this and the bosses he defeats, I'm going to give Mario a solid 7 out of 10. There's still room for improvement, but Mario's coming a long way.